First things first is realistically, there's only one of us that hasn't watched it. So let's just get this out the way. Let's talk about The Mandalorian. Season 3, Episode 1. It's back. Nick, our resident Star Wars lover. What
Yeah.
did you think?
So initially, after watching it, I gave it a 7 out of 10. After hearing some other viewpoints from people and some stuff that I was like, yeah, that's actually a fair point, I dropped it down to a 6.
Oh, interesting. Did you go
So
back and watch it though, or just listen to people?
no. I've seen the episode twice, but there's I listened to a couple other reviews where some people pointed out some stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, that's actually, I didn't think about that. That's actually a good point, you know. Uh,
Okay.
so um, so yeah, I dropped it down to a 6. I liked the episode. I didn't think it sucked. There was nothing in it that I thought was like really woke or there was identity politics or some sort of agenda message being pushed or anything like that in the entire episode.
You're just like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I was like, we actually got a space battle, which I liked, and they actually brought back I think they're called R-147s, the ships, the fighters that the uh, pirates are flying from, that actually first appeared in the TIE Fighter PC simulator back in the 90s, and then was an X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and X-Wing Alliance. Because I recognized the ships, and I was like, oh, I think that's from X-Wing Alliance, and they were. So that was cool. But there was I had some issues with it, like the editing. So like when he's leaving to go find this, are we talking spoilers, or is it
Oh,
safe?
just general thoughts and feelings really on it first, I guess. But
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah. Well, you can sort of dive into it as well. Really, why
Yeah,
not?
so yeah, general thoughts and feelings. I thought it was a decent enough episode. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, and ultimately I came to a 6.
Okay, all right. Andre, what did you think?
Well, as you recall, Mr. H, when The Mandalorian first came on, you and I were just about the only fans of it that were, especially of Gina Carano's Cara Dune. I remember it distinctly. The two of us, we were like, she's badass.
Everyone else is like, oh, fucking woke word.
Yeah, pretty much. That was the early response.
Do all
of
those
course,
things,
everyone
mate.
else
Woke.
came around to it, but people were like so traumatized at that point that they saw wokeness where there was none. So I've always been like a fan of The Mandalorian since early on. What I will say now, because I have not seen the Boba Fett series. I've seen like bits and pieces. I never saw the Mandalorian episodes. I absolutely felt that I was missing out. I was like, okay, really? I did feel that I missed out on a lot here. Maybe I've forgotten some stuff, but there's like some things here that I feel like I've missed out on.
I don't think you did. Like, I think he's in like 3 episodes or something like that. He gets a new ship. Grogu comes back, and that's it, basically.
Pretty much the last 3 episodes of Book of Boba Fett are the only ones that are.
Well, still, that's 3 episodes I've missed, and that feels. I felt that, and beyond that, I didn't. I guess that was like the best they could do towards writing out Cara Dune, which.
That was really.
Because I am much less sympathetic towards the series now than I was to begin with. I thought it was all right. It's obviously the best Star Wars that we have had since the last episode of The Mandalorian, to be honest. But still, the fighting of Cara Dune was such a huge thing for the simple reason she wasn't just like a character; she was what I like to call I forgot the name. Like a carrier wall, basically. She was a load-bearing structure.
Yeah. Okay.
And without that load-bearing structure, the whole thing kind of comes crumbling down. And this thing right here, to me, I could tell in the writing that this is something they have rushed together because Cara Dune wasn't there. It's like, oh no, she's gone. Oh, and that other guy, that we were really planning on, oh, he's gone too. So here is what we have cooked up for you guys instead. So here's this other adventure, and here's the side quest you need to go on first. So now we're back to the standard formula for the Mandalorian, which is side quest after side quest after side quest after side quest. And I appreciate that for what it is. But knowing that this is now something that they had to MacGyver out of thin air because they had to change their original plan, and I can totally tell. And
I think the original wasn't the original plan. Just she was just going to have her own spin-off anyway. So he was always going to be off by himself again.
Yeah, he was going to be off, but she was still going to be there. No, we do not know the details of what those plans were, but it wasn't so simple as that she was going to have her own spin-off series and fuck off from the rest of the show. No, that wasn't like that at all. What was happening?
There'd be some level of
Ranger series, and then she would get her own thing. But there was going to be interconnectivity. This was basically like a mini MCU, and basically what they did say that they still have Iron Man, but they just lost. They just lost Captain America and they just lost Thor, and they're carrying on with Iron Man. It's no longer the MCU in a sense, right? That's kind of like what we're going with here. And I could tell from watching, I could tell they have MacGyvered this together. I hope it's going to be good going forward, but I find myself much less excited for that reason. And I never thought I would ever say this. After everything that's been happening in entertainment the past 5-10 years, but the current season of Picard is better.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Paulie, what did you think of Mandalorian? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah. Listen, I went in kind of feeling the same way Andre was, and the fatigue and the kind of the reluctance see to see it, much less enjoy it. That being said, I liked it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, and I have no problem liking something like that. So I was thinking of in my video review. The first thing I said was Michael Corleone. Every time I get out, they pull me back in. And that was it. I mean, it had surprises for me. It was gunfights, it was monsters, aliens, twists. Even in the beginning, that beginning fight. As far as me thinking it was gonna be, are we doing spoilers? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters too much.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that little kid was a Din Djarin, like it was a flashback.
That's what I thought.
Right, I thought that was a great twist. Where I was like, oh, he's coming to save the day. We got our hero.
Yeah.
And like what Andre said is that this is the best that we have right now of Disney Star Wars, and I get it. Some people just think it's mediocre, that it's okay. I get that too. I really enjoyed myself. A couple things about Cara Dune's character. There is an opening for her to come back. Absolutely. Probably not in this season, but if things work out the way Favreau wants it to work out, don't be surprised. Also, too, Andre's correct in as far as her character was really becoming part of the stable of characters that we were really beginning to grow attached to. You have the two leads. You have Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed.
Grief cargo.
Yeah, thank you. Gina, Ming-Ya, and Boba, but Ming-Ya and Boba were really kind of like, on the outskirts, a little bit Bo-Katan, but you had these characters were like, wow, like I'm really starting to get attached
to roster.
Right. And they took that from us. As far as Gina, but she didn't make she doesn't, it's not a make or break for me. For me, I'm going to be honest, her acting in the first season was wooden at best, and it got better. So that's, I think that's, so I'm looking forward to the next one. I
Alright,
actually was
well.
surprised that they got so much in there just in 35 minutes. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Well, so my thoughts for anyone that might be interested. I don't know
I'm
if anyone is,
interested.
but I didn't go in with any level of apprehension. I don't think I'm gonna like this. I don't care. Like, I like this show. I'm unashamed about it. Sure, like, it sucks that Gina Carano got fired, but I can separate the show from this and just watch it as it is, and that's what I did. And I went into it and I enjoyed it as it is. Like, I didn't have any apprehension. It was nice to be back in this world. There was no element of needing to pull me back in. I'm happy. I like this world. I enjoy it. The one thing I will say is, by comparison to the likes of Andor, for instance, because that is such an elevated show by comparison, much more mature, this definitely does feel much more aimed at children. We knew that anyway, but obviously now that we've just had Andor and we have this now on our screens, you can compare them quite nicely and go, yeah, wow, like, this is really, 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 really much more aimed at kids. So there is that sort of element, but I don't care. Like, I still enjoy it. It's good fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Really enjoyed the opener. I enjoyed all the religious sort of iconography. That was quite good fun. It's good to see Baby Grogu back. It's just a good fun world. Like, I don't, I don't think Gina's presence was missed that much, to be fair, at all. Literally at all. If they hadn't addressed it, I wouldn't have thought about it at all. I just would have gone, okay, sure. Like, it wouldn't have crossed my mind that much. Again, if I wasn't in this sphere, this space, and I think normies as well are much the same, I don't think it would have crossed their mind, to be fair. Like, it just doesn't really cross people's minds that much. Yeah, like, and this doesn't remove the fact that what happened to her sucks. Of course it does. Like, I've done videos on it, but I can still separate that and enjoy the show. So yeah, there's my thoughts on it. It was good fun. Good to be back. Well produced. There's some dodgy CGI here and there. Some of the flames were pretty dodgy at the start, but all in all, yeah, I liked it. And yeah, Grogu's a badass, grabbing those little babu fricks, trying to cuddle them and run away with them.
His little pets.
Hilarious. Oh,
no baby, no bad baby. So yeah, like, I also don't feel like I don't feel like this has been muddled together. I don't feel like this story particularly has been like, they've got to rush this. Like, I feel like whether they have or they haven't rushed it, to me, it still feels like a natural progression of the story arc that they were following with the dark saber. To me personally, what do you think about that, Nick? Because obviously you being the sort of Star Wars lover that you are, do you feel like this is out of kilter from what they've done? Or do you feel like it goes quite nicely with what they've set up?
You mean in previous seasons of Mando, or just Star Wars in general?
Well, so because Andre said it felt like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Andre, but you said words to the effect that it was sort of hodgepodge together, something like that. Sort of,
yeah. I felt it was. I'm not going to say that it felt rushed, because it was very well produced. I enjoyed it more than I have any other Star Wars since the last episode of Mandalorian. I hope this is going to be as good as that, so that I'll be able to enjoy it for its own thing, because I do like what Favreau has going here. Well, let's face it, if Star Wars is to be saved, this is the way. It is the Mandalorian that has to do it. But I kind of do feel that this isn't not rushed together, but we're watching a plan B.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you feel like that, Nick? Do you feel like it was a plan B or not?
A little bit, because it seems like, and I don't know what their game plan was from the start. Those Mando episodes in Book of Boba Fett, I don't know if those were planned to be in there. I don't know if it was the plan to bring Grogu back into Mando so quickly.
Apparently, have you seen that? Apparently, a few years have passed. Grogu was with Luke for a few years. Apparently, 2 years.
Yeah, that's what Favreau said. But the thing is, the show doesn't let you know that.
It doesn't indicate that. No,
Yeah.
I know.
I would have liked to seen that on screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
And so there's an issue there with, and that's part of the reason why I think to some people it feels rushed, and I can see that point of view for sure. It's it does sort of feel like a plan B. In most of this episode that we got, it was just pretty much the same stuff that we already knew. It was almost like it was like a review, like, you know, that they gave us the breakdown of previously on, you know, Mando at the very beginning, where they show us what's happened up to this point. But then the whole episode was almost pretty much the same thing, just letting you know what's going on and what he's doing and that sort of thing. Really, the only thing new we got was a couple new characters, and you know, with the pirates, you know, some dialogue, but it also felt like the editing of it. So, for instance, like when he's going, he leaves Navarro to go get the memory chip for IG-11. Well, he's like, I'm going to go get the part and I'll be back. And then he goes to a planet in the Mandalorian system and goes and has a conversation with Bo-Katan. You know, it seems like that scene should have been before he went to Navarro in the first place. So some of the editing for me seemed a little bit off. But
it felt like they cut maybe a scene between it.
Yeah, maybe
why he was doing it. Yeah,
like as soon as he took off and was leaving, I thought the episode was either going to end there or it was going to show him, you know, landed on Tatooine, I'm guessing that's where he's ultimately going.
I have to agree with that cut. That cut, it took me a second to be like, wait a minute, what's going on? And it's towards the end of the episode. I think it's actually the very last scene, right? When he talks to Bo-Katan. I was like, it took me a second. I mean, other than that,
I mean, I don't hate the episode because of it, but it was something that just stood out to me.
No, it did. It did. Absolutely.
And then the other thing, the whole thing with IG-88, he self-destructed and blew up. How is there any pieces left of him? You know, I was like, like when I saw it in the trailer, I was like, oh, they erected a statue in his honor for sacrificing himself. I thought that was a cool callback to the character. But then we get into that's some of his parts, and it's pretty much his whole top half. I'm like, no.
Yeah, where would the bomb have been then, I guess?
Yeah, because even if you go back, because I watched it, the second time I watched it, I paid attention to the previously on. Yeah, it was in the middle. And when they showed him sacrificing himself and blowing up, he blew to pieces. There is no head or body or anything else. He is gone. And so it's like, are they just like, oh, he's a popular character, let's just bring him back? Oh, we don't got to explain anything. Just throw him back in there. You know?
Can I say something I thought was really stupid to that end?
Yeah.
It was like when Mando went to the little critters to get him repaired. And they were pretty clear that now this can't be done. And even if it could be done, his memory will be fried. Like you'll be just get a new droid because you'll be getting a new droid anyway. Like all the memory, everything is gone and it's not coming back. But what if I get you this one part? Oh, then it's fine.
It's a new memory board.
It was like, well, make up your mind. It's like if it's a new memory cord, then
say that.
But then how do you transfer the old memory to that? Can that even be done? That's like, it's like make up your mind here.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, I don't know whether I just enjoy it.
Yeah, I give it to you also, Andre. But I still.
This is the thing. Like, I mean, that's a minor thing. That is a minor thing. Like, I don't mean to quibble because again, I do enjoy The Mandalorian, but there's like. This may be one of my least favorite episodes so far of the series.
Really?
So I just hope that it picks up because I want to like this. I hate having to watch stuff out of obligation that aren't any good. So I just really want to like this.
Yeah.
I liked was it the IG?
Yeah, IG-11.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good payoff because that's how we first saw him as, you know, like terminate, kill. then they reprogrammed him, and then we went back to being that.
It was a funny scene. I thought
really
it was a funny scene and comical. But still in my head, I'm like, he shouldn't be there at all. I mean, I like that scene you're talking about, Paulie, but still in my head, I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. He shouldn't be here. And one other thing, this is only 8 episodes for this season. We just got the first one, which was basically just telling us the same thing. Like, if I swear to God, if they give us filler or crap episodes, like, I'm gonna be furious. Like you don't have time to fuck off. You got 7 episodes left. Give me something worth. Give me something worth it. Push the story forward. Make it exciting. Like, don't be spending a bunch of time on Tatooine with Peli Motto and jokes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Get down to the nitty gritty and let's bypass everything else.
Well, it'll be interesting. I mean, we'll obviously watch it next week and give our review on it then. Hopefully, I won't ask you, Culture. Don't you worry about it. But yeah, interesting.